It was a beautiful day in the fall of 2007 when a roofing crew in Southern California was at work. An aluminum plank was laid out from the rooftop to the truck when Sal Negron lifted a load onto his shoulder and began walking across.
I don't know what reason happened. I tripped and I went off and I landed on my head.
The fall was about 10 feet, from a fragile beam to solid ground. Sal lay motionless, thinking about the horrible pain in his head and neck, and noticed a lack of feeling in his lower body.
First thing I thought I was passing out. I was passing away. I was dying. So I started praying.
Sal Negron was born and raised on the tropical island of Puerto Rico. At the age of just 15, Sal and a friend made the move to the United States. They began training at a school in Connecticut, learning about plants and the English language. In 1978, Sal moved to California. After just 2 weeks in Orange County, he met his future wife Miriam while visiting a Puerto Rican friend. Life then changed for Sal as he began a new career as a roofer, a journeyman, and a father.
I would make his breakfast, he would leave, and then come home, and it was dinner. He would talk to the kids, play with the kids.
Sal and Miriam raised 4 children, got married, and had purchased their own house when the tragic accident happened. Phone calls were made to friends and family. Sal Jr., who now works as a machinist in aerospace, rushed to the hospital, but didn't know what to expect.
I was actually the first one who saw him coming out of the surgery, because he was coming right out of the elevator and was like, he didn't look good at all.
Sal's daughter Rose was married, but during the trauma, she stayed with her father as much as she could.
I asked him to move his legs and he couldn't. I couldn't tell him that he can't move his legs. I just told him, okay, we'll try next time or it'll be okay.
And I stood there with him. I didn't go nowhere with him.
For Sal, it was the end of a lifetime of hard work, supporting and raising a family. For the first time, Sal was dependent on others.
When he was transferring to a different hospital, when the doctors finally told him that he only had a 1% chance of ever walking again.
Although Sal's injury left his head and arms normal, he was now paralyzed from the chest down.
I was paralyzed, but I didn't want to believe it myself. I said, yeah, I think I'll get out of this.
When Sal came home, simple modifications were made to his house, with wider doors, making it easier to roll in and out of a room. The kitchen took on new countertops, leaving more space, and a master bathroom was added with an accessible shower. In spite of all the support, the changes to Sal's condition made things difficult for everyone, including the grandchildren.
They couldn't handle it. They couldn't believe a person that plays with him and tags and throws him around the floor and everything was in a chair. They couldn't believe that.
Everybody's pretty bummed about it because he was a totally different person than what he is now.
Sal is now confined to a wheelchair. He sleeps in a motorized bed, which allows him to raise and lower his legs and upper body. And Sal uses a remodeled bathroom. With the help of an additional chair, Sal is able to go to the bathroom alone. He can now take a shower while in a wheelchair, and Sal can wheel right up to the bathroom mirror.
A lot of people usually give up and don't want to, live life anymore because they're used to one thing and now they're having to do something else. It's really great to see that my father actually pulled through and just, he's playing his cards that he's dealt with.
Sometimes I have to force him to move around because he just gets kind of, depressed a little bit, and I tell him, no, come on, you can't do that.
Sal drives his own car. From his wheelchair, he can maneuver himself into the van and into the car seat. He then drives around the city, to his church, or to the grocery store, never afraid to ask for help.
He has a really good positive look at it though. Like he's very spoken about it. He tries to help others. Like he does volunteer at the Long Beach Memorial over there to talk to some people that just recently gone into a type of injury as severe as his. And he goes out there and he talks to them.
No matter how hard things get for Sal, his wife, his children, and grandchildren are always there to help Sal cope with his condition.
I could never imagine that I would end up in a wheelchair the same way. I guess that's destiny, and that's what God wants us to go through, and we must go through what He commands. He is the boss.